Okay, what's up, everyone? Josh Weber here, co-founder of Big Red Jelly, and today we are diving into the details of one of the several brand chapters here at Big Red Jelly. This is one of the steps that we take clients through when they engage Big Red Jelly and our team of brand strategists for a new brand or a revamped brand or a much improved brand. As you can see here, there are two deliverables or things that I'm going to go through that we help clients really flesh out that vastly improves your marketing, your sales, your brand, of course, your brand awareness, and at the end of the day, your bottom line. So this is brand personality and archetypes. This is something that's included in what we call the brand DNA. So this is also an internal branding element. This is something that you must identify and flesh out and improve internally as a company that will help your external communication channels, marketing, assets, etc. So let's get into it. I'm going to move quickly because there's a lot of info here. First, let's define personality. This is the definition from Merriam-Webster dictionary. The combination of characteristics or qualities that form an individual's distinctive character. Now, you might be saying, well, Josh, this is for an individual. I am a company. I'm a business. I'm a team. I'm going to let you in on a little hint right now. Younger generations and businesses in particular, as we kind of modernize and see what works and what doesn't in terms of branding, effective branding and marketing, to make your company feel more human, more personalized, more personal, more authentic is a huge differentiator between a great brand and an average brand, right? Be more human, be more authentic, be more transparent, be something that a human being can associate with, and that's going to make them more likely to trust you, do business with you, and at the end of the day, give you their money in exchange for your product or services. So that's why brand personality is important. So I'm going to read this really quick. The term brand personality refers to a set of human characteristics that are attributed to a brand name. An effective brand increases its brand equity by having a consistent set of traits that a specific consumer segment enjoys. This personality is a qualitative value add that a brand gains in addition to its functional benefits. A brand personality is something to which the consumer can relate. If the consumer becomes a regular customer, they may start to identify parts of their own personality with the brand personality. That's what you want. You want to create these relationships, right? That's what branding is all about. After all, definition here at Big Red Jelly of a brand is the perception that your ideal client or customer has of your business. It's the perception they have of you, okay? So now let's get into some key, I won't read all of these, but some key takeaways. I'm going to highlight this one right here. The personal side of brand personality is so important, especially in the digital age of artificial intelligence and automation, right? So we hear all the time, AI, machine learning, chat GPT, automation, digital this, digital that, automated this, automated that, robot this, robot that. It's about keeping what makes personality real, right? What is creative? What is human? What is a personality? So try to make your brand and your business more human, more relatable. That's why these deliverables are important, right? So these are important things to think about if you have a brand new company or you are a large corporation. These two brand deliverables or steps or things are so important. So as you can see here, this could be a brand personality. There's a lot of ways you can help develop your brand personality. We have tools and tactics here at Big Red Jelly to help a business owner do this. But for example, you might describe your brand personality using certain adjectives: sincerity, excitement, competence, sophistication, ruggedness, right? Something fun I like to do is if, for my own team members here at Big Red Jelly, picture if the Big Red Jelly guy or gal, if it was a person, walked through the door, what would they be like? What would they act like? What would they do in good times or bad times? How would they respond to criticism? I'll give you a hint. Your employees and your partners and yourself will give you a glimpse into what that person will be, right? So you can see that brand also starts to bleed into culture and the people that you have. This does bleed into your products, your services, and overall client customer satisfaction. Starts from the internal core of your brand, right? So that's why this is here. As you can see here, you can start to personify and say, okay, what are the characteristics of the personality of your brand? What are the thoughts they have? What are the behaviors and emotions? That's what a personality is. So let's think about some personality, right? When I say sincerity, you might look at some of these brands. Look at the visual consistencies here. You see a lot of cursive, handwritten type for the logo, right? Kind of gives it that authenticity, that sincerity, traditionalism, right? I think excitement. What do you see here? Even from a visual standpoint, right? I see a lot of left to right, right? Growth on a trajectory, rocketing up, SpaceX, Virgin. It feels energetic, feels animated, feels a little aggressive, right? Excitement. How would you use that word to describe your personality? Competence. What do we see here? A lot of blues. I'm going to get into color theory now, right? But dark blue, kind of blue is a competence color, kind of trust, traditional. These are more maybe safe shapes, kind of more square stamps, if you will, right? Competence. Very different from excitement, right? Very different. More reds here. Reds and yellows, I see some black. Now coming into sophistication, what do you see right out of the gate? Black and white. A little bit of blue. Simple, right? Maybe more sans serif font sometimes. I don't know. Kind of still has that traditional approach with sincerity, but a little more black and white, right? Sophistication. Look at these brands. A lot of luxury brands here. Ruggedness. Very different. Now we get it, right? Look at the, again, kind of a sticker effect with the logo. Harley Davidson, Levi's, Carhartt. A good variety, though. I would say thick type font. Very thick, very robust, strong, right? Okay, so that was fun, right? Think about your brand as a personality, not just a thing, right? Not just a thing, not a business. This is an ambiguous entity, building filled with people and paper, right? That's a personality. What personality do you want to give your brand? Then you can start to think about the archetype, right? Now, obvious question here is there is a reason that archetype comes after personality, okay? But what's an archetype? In Carl Jung, Jungian psychology, these archetypes represent universal patterns and images that are part of the collective unconscious. Jung believed that we inherit these archetypes much in the way we inherit instinctive patterns of behavior. So archetypes are these particular kind of character types. We hear about archetypes in Greek mythology, in history, in storytelling, fiction, nonfiction. Archetypes are kind of picking out one of these lines here. Universal inborn models of people, behaviors, and personalities that play a role in influencing human behavior. Swiss psychiatrist Carl Jung, right? Theory suggests that these archetypes were archaic forms of innate human knowledge passed down from ancestors. You might say, Josh, this doesn't make any sense. I've never heard of this before. But you have, right? Look at the 12 archetypes we have here. By the way, there are different names for this depending on which website you're looking at. But innovation, safety, knowledge, freedom, liberation, power, mastery, intimacy, pleasure, belonging, service, control. Again, there are different terms here. But as you can see, these are kind of the 12 archetypes. We're coming back up here. Inborn models of people, behaviors, and personalities. So you think of these brands, think of IKEA is the everyman, right? Sense of belonging. What if I'm a ruler? I'm in control. I provide structure. Hugo Boss, right? Harley Davidson, great example. Outlaw is the archetype. Well, that's about liberation. That's about leaving a mark. Okay. So think to yourself, well, what's my archetype? You could think personally, what's your archetype? By the way, you don't have to fit into one. You could bleed between two or three. You could switch depending on your environment. But overall, thinking of these archetypes do help you start to categorize and say, well, what kind of personality does my brand personify? Right? So a little quiz here. What's Tesla? Is it innovation? Could it be safety? One could argue. Knowledge? Freedom? As you can see, it could fit into a couple, right? It could fit into a couple. It could be innovation. I'll probably lean toward. SpaceX, I'd definitely put in innovation. But one could argue it could go into freedom, right? It could go into safety, how safe it is compared to regular automobiles. Trader Joe's, is it jester? Are they about pleasure and connecting to others? Or are they more about the outlaw and kind of liberation? You know, they kind of have these different brands. You almost feel like you're at a trading post, you know, kind of exploring. Hoka, right? Popular running shoe brand. What are they about? Freedom, maybe, right? Innovation, perhaps. Very different from the traditional Nike, Adidas, thin-toed kind of model of running shoe. Very different approach. World Wildlife Foundation, I would argue, would probably be in the caregiver, I would say, right? But could be freedom. I don't know. Rolex, ruler, maybe. Put it in that category. So I have some links here I'll share in the description below. Just some great study material. This is Mr. Carl Jung himself. Great psychologist, very famous, who kind of put his stamp on the archetypes that we talked about, as well as some interesting material to read through about brand personalities and building out your own brand archetype. But think about the overall goal here is to make your brand and your business more human. It will connect better with other humans. They'll want to do business with you more. They'll come back for more. more, they'll refer and recommend your business more, and they'll fall in love with your brand. And that's what it's all about. So stay tuned for future steps about branding and how to build a brand, how a brand is not relegated. It's not reserved for big corporations and big fancy brands like Hugo Boss. Even a small startup, a small business, you can have a super powerful human brand that connects with your target audience and helps grow your business. Thanks for joining.